Hello and welcome to this short video on how to use the MasterSeries and get the most out of your trial. First of all, thank you very much for choosing to try the MasterSeries. So if I just go and start the MasterSeries and confirm that I want to start now, we will see the front screen of the MasterSeries, and here we can see the version number, when it was issued, and in our case a time limited version with 3 days remaining, which is a free trial version. So that gives us the information about our version. Over on the right here we have all the previous last 10 files you've been working on. So for example, frames, masonry, connections, portals, and more frames. What I want to do first of all is to walk through how to learn to use the software. So first protocol is the Learning Center. The Learning Center goes to our website into the client area where you have access to all the videos on the software. So you can see if you want to learn all about master frame editing, there is a list of different videos that take you through all the different features of master frame. And I'll just go back. So if we choose one of these, for example, the PowerPad Word example, we can view it here in this little window, and off it goes and does its thing. Or we can expand that to the full screen and I press escape. Or I'd like to go and view it in Vimeo now. Viewing it in Vimeo, which is an alternative to YouTube, gives us some benefits. It allows us to play it at the best resolution, but more importantly, with certain videos we have a list of different topics, so we can go in and learn all about supports and go straight to supports, and it will now jump in, and there it comes clear, and it's now talking about how you apply supports to the structure. So I highly recommend that you view the videos in Vimeo. You still have the option in here to go to full screen, which is a clearer full screen than it would be from our own player. So I'm just going to close that down. Close that down. So that's videos. First port of call. Second port of call is help and help contents. This is help contents are all the manuals, all the documentation, such as the different programs for concrete and steel beams and the calculation wizard. But more importantly, we also have the tutorials, and the tutorials, for example, master frame to EC3, so steel design to EC3. So a simple plain frame, and you'll see it'll take you through, after a bit of preamble, starting step by step how you get through and use the program, giving you tips and explanations on other areas that you might want to look at in to expand your knowledge of using the software. So that's your tutorials, and that's your videos and manuals. You also have, and if I go back to my website, support, and in support you can come along and fill in your details with a question, and if you have a particular data file you can upload that file to us. Now there are options on the right hand side for joining meetings. Don't use those until one of our tech support guys actually asks you to do so. So that's how you learn the software. So let's have a wee quick introduction to using it ourselves. There are two types of programs we have: the standalone programs, such as the masonry, connections, retaining walls, and we'll look at entering those. And then there's the big frames and portals and PowerPad. So if we just take element design, here we can get connections. If we look at designer suite, here we have masonry, retaining walls, composite beams, and our little beam designer programs for simple beam design. So I'm going to go into a typical one here in masonry, and I get my file selection menu. So what I can do the first time is I can come along and say where I want to start saving files. So you can save your files anywhere you want, but it's obviously very sensible to save it in a particular place. I've previously created inside my documents a directory called MasterSeries files. So I'll just open that and I will create a brand new file. So new file, demo 1, and click on create. Now if I just go back out of that, saving that, and I come back into Masonry, first of all remember where I was, and you'll now see that that file exists. So because that exists, this button now says get file rather than create file. So if I want a new file, I hit the new file button, demo 2, and I now say create. So you can see how that's changed from get to create new. And here I am, simple to start inputting my data. Now I'm not going to go into all the inputted data because you can review any of the particular videos to understand that. And I'm just going to save again. So very similar in the other programs such as the retaining walls and the connections. If we're looking at PowerPad or the Building Designer Suite, those are the packaging systems that we use for our internal programs. And for example, both PowerPad and the Building Design Suite create frames using master frames. So you actually go to the core program, the master frame program. So in master frame, very similar, you choose either an existing or in my case, demo 1. And with master frame you then choose your layout. So I'm going to start off with some grid lines. I'm going to set up my grid lines. I'm going to accept those. There I go. And I'm going to add another grid line in the, not in the ABC, but in the other direction, set 2, set the 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to add another one, grid line 6. And I can just say it's going to be, and move that out 5.55 meters, and there we are. That is now 5.55 meters from grid line 5. Very simple. Again, creating members, also simple, and I highly recommend you go through the videos for creating them. So I'm going to create a UC and I'm going to make it nice and chunky, 305, and I'm going to say that it is 3.5 meters high and it starts above with a pin to base. So I'm just kind of going to come along and say bang, 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 but I'm not limited to just here. I can move across a wee bit and say I want to go to those snap points. So hover, 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 and then I can move, and I can either type as I did previously or just click and put them in. So that's the master frame for you, and it is the same in PowerPad and in the Building Designer Suite. So that's a basic run through of how you get into the software. Once we've done that once or twice, we now see that our files exist. So there's my frame file with the frame icons, and there's my masonry. So if I want to go back into the masonry, I can do so straight away and start designing. So I wish you all the best. Thank you for viewing this video, and any questions whatsoever, get in contact with help@masterseries.com, or you can phone us on the usual number from the UK, 028 9036 5950. And for sales questions, just email sales@masterseries.com or the same number. Thank you very, very much. Goodbye.